What's good, everybody? RJ Sheldon here, back with another episode of Off the Top Show, Spartan Dog Edition. We did take a little bit of a break, but we are back. We are getting our, baggage together for this incredible NFL college football season. We're here, as you see on the screen here, got my good brother, Tony Lippett, a.k.a. Lip. What's happening, brother?
What's the wizard?
You already know what it is. Let's just hop right into it here. Obviously, the Lions, they went ahead and finished all their preseason games. They went ahead, lost to Texans, the first one 7-26. Second game, 24-17. They lost against the Dolphins, and then they went ahead and won against the Atlanta Falcons, 17-10. I mean, we all obviously preseason is a big thing. If I can recall, I really didn't see any of the ones really playing. That was just, I didn't really catch up because it is preseason. You kind of really know who your guys are going to be. If you want my honest opinion, though, there was one guy that definitely did stick out, and that was Isaac Tesla at the wide receiver position. When I saw him during all three of these games, or really two of these games that I watched, when I watched the Falcons and the Texans, I believe he went ahead and did his thing, but he had a really good camp. Not to go ahead and point out one guy, but I think he personally should go ahead and be in that rotation, especially in the regular season. Kind of talk to me a little bit about what you saw from the Detroit Lions, maybe from a, defensive perspective, offensive perspective, individual coaching. Kind of talk to me a little bit what you saw through this preseason.
Well, first off, shout out to the Lions. They've been doing the top 100 in the league. I think the Lions had eight guys on the list, with I think Aiden Hutchinson being number like 14 or 16. It was one. He's in the top 20, and I think Amaya St. Brown was number 20 as well. So a couple guys in the top 20, like eight guys in the list. But it was one guy that wasn't on the list at all. That I don't know how he wasn't on the list. Brian Branch, the safety.
He wasn't on the list?
He was not on the top 100. He's
Wow.
one of the most versatile defensive players in the game. Like, he tough. Like, nickel, blitzing, covering, like, just playmaking. Like, he is definitely a top 100 guy in the NFL. I don't know how they missed out on that. But shout out to them for if I'm not mistaken, they probably had the most guys. I would probably say it's probably either them or the Ravens or the Eagles. One of those is gonna have the most guys. So shout out to the Lions. To piggyback off what you said about Tesla, I like his game. He reminds me of, I always say he was like a bigger target, possession guy. He's definitely gonna play. He's definitely gonna be in there playing. I think he's in like the same category of Cortland Sutton from Denver Broncos, that big target that can make catches. It's hard to tackle. It's an automatic red zone weapon. Obviously, we see he was making contested catches, 50-50 passes in the end zone, running past guys in practice. And we seen from the last preseason game where he scored outran the wide receiver and then scored a touchdown and did the worm. So he's athletic. He's confident right now. He's from the crib. So he's from here. He's from Michigan, Detroit, so him playing back at home, that's going to be another like added component to him wanting to come out and, represent himself, his family, as well as the city to the highest level. So we here at the regular season, man. So obviously I heard Dan Campbell say from top to bottom, this was the best roster from top to bottom that the Lions has had. He might have some, that might be true, that might be true. Obviously you added some corners to the game. You had a DJ Reed, which has been a starter in the league for a multitude of years. Arnold is going into his second year. He should be way better as well at bringing depth back to this team. So we shall see, man. Obviously, week one against the Packers is at Lambeau, right? Yep, at Lambeau. Yep. So it's starting off the back. It's going to be a big game. Big game, division game. First game, division game. First two games, division game. So you don't want to start off 0-2. You don't want to start off 1-1 because the division loss is damn near 2 losses. So you want to handle your business and do what you need to do, and you got to start fast. You start 2 division games right off the back. So love what they did this offseason with joint practices and everything. And the season is here now. We're going to see what they really got when it really counts.
Absolutely. And then obviously you already we talked about this before we got on there. Road to the 53 is kind of in the works right now. 4 p.m. is obviously the deadline until teams go ahead and get everything squared away before they go and start next week and prepping and all that good stuff. Some guys that I kind of am shocked that did go ahead and get released. Zach Johnson, the offensive lineman. If you don't remember who that was, he was the guy that caught that I forget what it's called, but like offensive lineman goes out and gets like a little like float backside pass from the quarterback. He caught that against
Yeah.
the Cowboys, and that went ahead and got declined because someone was on the line, which was a bullshit call. That should have been a touchdown. But just a guy that's, I guess, played, 51 snaps. He kind of knows the left guard position pretty well. And obviously you want to go ahead and have a very good front for the quarterback and Jared Goff. That was one that was kind of shocking to me. But granted, they are pretty depth-wise when it comes to offensive linemen there. So I can see. And then another one as well. Obviously, Hooker went ahead and got released, which is kind of shocking to me. I thought that they were still going to go ahead and kind of, maybe have him for one more year. He did kind of go ahead and hurt himself by, I guess, I know there was a couple games that he did get maybe injured or got banged up. But he was a third-round pick in the 2023 draft for them. So they went ahead and did get him and saw something out of him. You can't get the replacement of Teddy Bridgewater like kind of you do like towards the end of the season because he's with the Bucs. Kind of talk to me just when you hear those two names, or if you've seen anything else that has been released or guys leaving. What are you concerned? Are you not concerned? Obviously, we know it's the Lions, and they got players, but you got to go ahead and kind of make sure that your backups are kind of squared away as well.
Yeah, obviously Hayden Hooker. I think his name Hooker.
Yeah.
He was this his third year? Or this is his second year.
This would be I think this is going into his third year because 2023.
Okay,
so he's going in his third year.
Okay, so the first year he had the injury, so he was recovering from that. Then the next year it was supposed to be like, okay, it's your official first year of playing a game, and then it was this year, and they wanted to see him take this jump. I don't know if he took the jump. I mean, we look at the other backup quarterback, Kyle Allen. His numbers was great. In the game 2 weeks ago against the Dolphins, he was 14 for 17, 124, and 2 touchdowns. Then the first game, he was 7 for 8 for 120 with 2 touchdowns. And then the last game, he just had good numbers. Like he had good outings, good numbers, and he was playing great for a backup quarterback. I would say Hooker. I would say he coming from because he went to Tennessee, so they ran that spread offense where it's just receivers all the way out there and they just running straight and they just running slants or running straight like that Baylor type of offense shit. That shit don't work in the league because it don't help you able to read defense because NFL teams don't play like that. So the development that the development in Tennessee, it didn't develop him for this level. So now you coming into this level of football where you just got to do 3-step, stick routes, arrow routes, dragging, wrap, curls, comebacks. You got to just do that and throw that all the time, throwing it to your tight ends. Some of these colleges don't even throw it to the tight end. You know what I'm saying? They don't even have tight ends in their whole offense. So all of these things in college, they can kind of hinder you when you come into the league and then you playing from behind, i.e. look at A.R. Richardson. Look at Richardson. He's behind because he ain't play a lot in college. He only played like 12 games, and then you come into the league and you think they about to develop you there. Yeah, they're going to do their best, but it's at the end of the day, it's on you. If you can't develop, if you can't catch up, the league not going to wait on you. They might give you a year, and now we see quarterbacks is like, hey, you got a year now. Quarterbacks usually have time, you know what I'm saying? But it's different now because it's like, bro, we got to go. We can't sit here and wait 4 years for you to do something while you try something. They kept Kyle Allen, which would be a decent backup quarterback. We shall see. Hooker, they might bring him back on practice squad. He might get an opportunity somewhere else. He's got to take it on the chin and, continue to develop because backup quarterbacks in this league, them motherfuckers be playing, forever. So,
right.
Some of them be 14 years and they only played 14 games in their whole career because they're a good backup quarterback. I mean, maybe that's the route he take. Maybe, he can develop and something happen and he can come into an offense where he can execute. So we'll see, man. That's just the name of the game. It's a numbers game. It's a production game, performance game. If you can't perform when you need to, or if you're lacking, they're not going to wait on you. So I understand it.
100%. We are in a produce era right now, and especially when it comes to professional sports, You got to produce. So, man, obviously, I wish that we didn't have a week to go ahead and wait to play professional NFL football, but we got next week. They go ahead and not this weekend, but the next weekend, excuse me. They go ahead and face the Packers. That one is in Green Bay. They are plus 1.5. If you are wondering what that is, it's kind of crazy to see. I would thought that they would go ahead and but they got the Packers winning that one, which is kind of crazy.
Oh, they got the Packers.
Yeah, they got the Packers minus 1.5, and they got the Lions.
Oh, I don't know about that.
I was like, really? But we shall see. We got roughly 2 weeks, and it's on the floor, and I can't wait to start. You just feel it in the air. It's starting to get a little cooler. You know, you wake up early mornings, like 60, 56 degrees out. It's here, and I can't wait. So let's move on over. Michigan State football is here. They play Friday, obviously, against the Western Michigan Broncos. John Smith is going to be going ahead and taking his team into Spartan Stadium. They play at 6 p.m. Big game. Can't wait to see how we come ahead and do what we need to do to kind of just show our first, imprint of this season. Talk to me what you're wanting to see and what do you expect to see from this game?
First, I want to see a win. Like I said before, it's the first game, so there's going to be some missed tackles. There's going to be some false starts. There's going to be a bunch of pre-snap things. There's going to be some little alarming things because it's first game type of thing. We understand that. First time guy's going to really, really be tackled for real, so that's going to be a part of the game. Like I said, I want to see the quarterback, man. I want to see how he looks. I want to see from the last game last year to this game right here, what does he look like? And I think that's going to tell me a lot. Obviously it's the first game, so we get it, but we're going to have to see. So that's what I'm going to be tuned into. I've been hearing good things, and hearing things surrounding the program, surrounding the team, but I want to see it. I mean, football ain't played through the headlines. It ain't played on Twitter. It ain't played on Xbox. It's played Friday night in the woodshed, if they still call it that. That's where it's played at. So we'll see what that. We'll see on Friday night. That's all I already got said.
I just, we've seen everything. You have his highlights or whatever. It could be the quarterback position, it could be the wide receiver position. We can hear the O-line, the D-line. We can talk about the secondary. We can talk about everything else. But the biggest thing, and I totally agree of what you said in regards of what you want to see from two. I just want to see the attention to detail on every play, though. Like, it's not where you're like taking, where you're reading your keys, what you need to do. You're on defense, you're getting to the ball. On offense, we're running what we need to run, and we're falling forward. I don't want to see inconsistency because we have no room for inconsistency right now. We're kind of especially with John Smith, like, we got to figure out what he's going to be about this year, what he's going to be like moving forward, if you want my honest opinion. Because we can't be just sitting here going ahead and being a team that's, okay, if we do get to a bowl game, absolutely immaculate. That should be the goal. Obviously, that's always the goal, but that should be priority number one, is to figure out how we can go ahead and win 7-8 games. And that schedule that they got, it's going to be tough because we can't go ahead and sit here and say that they're going to go ahead and be a 10-win team when you look at what they did last year and you look at the schedule right now. Because what I'm looking at, okay, so the 3 games, I'd like to go ahead and take games into 3 here. Western Michigan, Boston College, Youngstown State. Western Michigan's a very good football team. They had a very good record last year, and they got guys that just play fast and play very well. Boston College, you lost to them last year. Do you get your revenge? But I don't know what's going on. You lost to them. Youngstown State, that should go ahead and be taken care of. So realistically, if I'm being honest here, these first 3 games, there should be no reason why you should not be 2-1 or 3-0 before you go ahead and it's the Big Ten season. There should be no rhyme or reason that you should be 1-2 these 3 games. There shouldn't even be a thought. But if it happens, now you go ahead. You got USC, that is in California. Then you go to Nebraska. Then you play UCLA at home. Those are, I'm looking at USC and I was watching the Big Ten training camp situation. USC's got some guys. Nebraska always got some guys. UCLA, I don't know, but USC and Nebraska, those are definitely going to be tough games. Like those are
And
games
they
that you're going to exactly, and you have
yeah,
to you're gonna know what type of team you have, and
like
then
that's the first road game is in SE. Like the first road game is all the way across the country, and then you come back on a bye week, and then you go to Lincoln. Like both of those environments is going to be tough to go in and win in. So we're gonna see how John Smith has a team ready to go. But go ahead.
yeah, no, absolutely. And then just quickly here, the next three, right? Indiana, that's away. Then you have Michigan at home, and then you go to Minnesota. So
Mm.
what I'm trying to get at here, and then you finish with Penn State at home, then you go to Iowa, then you have Maryland home. These games are not going to be any type of cupcake walk games that you're going to go ahead and think that you're going to win. You can mess around, go ahead and be like, damn, we are, let's see here, way under 500, at 500, or going to a bowl game. So we're going to see what really goes down because this is the year that we have got to get over the hump. And I know I'm being very, I don't even know the word. I'm just being very blunt about it because this is not this is not an easy schedule, especially after those three games that I guess you call warm up when it comes to Western Michigan, Boston College, Youngstown State. So we're gonna see what they're gonna be made out of. I hope that we go ahead and get it squared away to where we do get to a bowl game. I want to just see. And again, it's crazy how we continue to say this all the time, but I just want to see, and not to just repeat what you said. I just want to see what number 2 is about to be on. I want to see what Aiden Childs is going to do. I know everyone around him, obviously, is going to be ready, and he's going to be ready. Coaches are going to be ready. But it's like, how are you going to handle when things aren't really going right and you flip-flop it first quarter, second quarter, half, beginning to half, how you finish? We're going to see. But I'm excited, though. I'm excited to see what these guys do with their opportunities. And we got to figure out when we're going to go to a game. We got to kind of get that squared away. I might have to go to that Michigan game. I'm not going to lie. If there's one game that I'm definitely going to go ahead and save, I might have to go to that one. I'll go ahead and drive 13 hours to go watch that game.
Oh, wait a minute. You got to see. You got to see what they schedule. I mean, you got to see what their record is. That's 7 games.
That's real. That is real. That is real. That is real. Yeah. But they go ahead on Friday this week. Can play at 6 p.m. against the Western Michigan Broncos. It's going to be good. Can't wait. It's always fun when we go ahead and see how Michigan State Spartans play. Let's get the job done, man. Start on the right foot. Let's move on over quickly here. We have the Detroit Tigers. They are still first in their division. They're second best record in the MLB. They're 78-55. They went ahead and lost to the Athletics 8-3. They face them today at 9:05, and then they go ahead and face them on Wednesday at 9:05 again, and then they go ahead and head out to Kansas City, and then they go ahead and head out to New York. So still top of their division. We're getting to that time where the playoffs are creeping around, and they keep doing their thing. It'd be nice to go ahead and see some Midwest teams, and like I like to call the Midwest on this show here, to go ahead and be deep in the playoffs. So you see what's going on. You like what's happening? You like what's going on? Talk to me about it.
Yeah, we at the top. We at the top. We right behind y'all as far as the whole league, but in the American League, they at the top 78-55, 7-3 in the last 10 games. And you got to keep chalking. I mean, like that's it's crazy because 78-55 is like great. Like where you lost 55 games, but you won 78, and that's like a really great record. It don't sound like it, but I mean, shit, they got a 2-to-1 ratio. That's kind of where you want to be at in a season where they play over damn near like 150 games. I mean, yeah, they play over damn near 150 games every year. So to have a 2-to-1 win ratio and be top of their American League right now, that's pretty damn good. So they just got to finish, and then when the playoffs start, take it to another level to see how that's going to be. So I'm tapped in, tuned in a little bit. You're just going to see how I go.
Absolutely. And then last but not least, you're way far away, but I feel like September's damn near here. NBA is going to be rolling around here. Detroit Pistons start training camp the 29th. when that time comes, starting to creep up there, we'll definitely go ahead and have all 4 sports going again. It's crazy how time flies, where NBA takes a break and now they're back going. College football, when it comes to Michigan State, or just whole takes a break. And you go ahead and you got the NFL, and then all of a sudden now everyone's playing. So we'll definitely go ahead and be tuned into all that good stuff when it comes to the Michigan area for sports. Moving on into the Speak On It segment. Obviously, there's been some signees to the NFL that we've kind of been waiting to hear about. Terry McLaurin went ahead and signed a 3-year extension worth $96 million. And then on top of that, Trey Hendrickson, he went ahead and signed a 1-year extension for $30 million. If I'm not getting that right or wrong, I don't know if that's the right number, but I think that is.
Yeah.
So those are kind of the
$40 million pay raise.
So those two are kind of the big names as of right now that got signed. Out of those two, which one do you think was the one that made the most sense? Or the one's like, all right, yeah, like this is perfect. And one that kind of is like a head scratcher for you, like this kind of weird waiting for this long and then this is what you do.
Obviously, the Bengals didn't want to extend Trey Hendrickson. They just wanted him for probably 1 year. That's what it was. Or maybe they didn't want to extend him right now. Maybe as the year go on and he's playing well or whatever it is, they may extend him in the middle of the season. And we're going to add 3 more years on there. $100 million guaranteed. Like, we're going to add something on there. We just wanted to wait. Maybe money is funny over there in Cincy. I don't know. They paying everybody on offense, though. So we're going to see what's going on over there. But that's that. I think McLaurin getting signed with Washington helps them a lot. I mean, I think he's a reliable receiver, but I do think missing training camp because like now he's gonna have to play right now. Like, is he gonna play week 1? If he don't play week 1, he definitely gonna play week 2. But he ain't been practicing. He ain't been playing. Like, I'm sure he been working out, but it's different, bro. Like, what if you get a hamstring? What if you pull your hamstring and now you're out for 5 weeks and now this whole season is derailed because you feel me? And that's on them too. It's on them as well, and it's on him as well. A collective. So that might hurt them in the future, especially for this year. Because if you lose him for however many games and you're paying him $32 million a year, who is the other receiver? Debo? I don't think Debo is going to beat nobody. I'm not saying he's not going to be a player that makes plays, but he ain't beating nobody. It's going to have to be Jaden Daniels to, elevate everybody's play around him with his play. He's going to have to be able to do that a lot, especially right now. So I think it's a good signing, though. I definitely think signing McLaurin, that was pretty good. That's pretty dope. He's been there. He did his thing. I mean, like I said, I don't think he's ever had over 1,200 receiving yards. I mean, it's cool. So if that's what he's worth, I ain't mad at it. Go get your cheese, my dog. I don't know. I think their offense is a little iffy. And they might got the same players they had last year, but I still just think they're going to be a little iffy. Especially with him just coming back and not being practicing, not getting that chemistry between him, because it's different. It's a different year. Everybody is preparing for Washington way different than they prepared for Washington last year. Jaden Daniels is about to see another game plan. He's about to see a further advanced game plan towards him, because everybody in the league watched him be great last year. But this offseason, everybody been scouting and watching him and watching that offense and watching Cliff Kingsbury, how he liked to call plays. Even back, I know people that's really in that bag, they'd go back to him calling plays in Arizona. And if you really in that bag, you will be watching his college plays. You know what I'm saying? This is scouting. This is scouting. This is if you really want to be great. And I know, scouts in the NFL, they're definitely going to dig as deep as they can against these coordinators and to further advance the game. Because obviously all of the calls that's changing and all of that, it all benefits the offense. So defense, you just have to be a little bit more prepared every year. So, I mean, it's good sign. It's always good seeing guys, get signed and make their cheese. So that's always a good thing.
Yeah, no, it definitely is. It's always good to see guys go ahead and get what they deserve because they've went ahead and sacrificed a lot of things and went ahead to do what they needed to do to get to this points. So shout out to him. And then last but not least here, which I thought was kind of shocking with the Raiders. So Jacoby Myers is seeking an extension, and now he's requested a trade. They are seeing that they're not going to go ahead and give him that money. And then with that, they went ahead and signed veteran Amari Cooper. Reunites with obviously the Raiders. If you want my honest opinion about this situation, yeah, I know that you go ahead and say age is a number, age is a thing. I think Amari Cooper is still Amari Cooper. He's still going to get open in between that, 0 to 20-yard range in any routes, and he can also surprise you down the field. He's a reliable guy. He's still Amari Cooper. I think it's kind of crazy that Jacoby Myers, especially the situation of where he is right now with the team and kind of where they're heading, Pete Carroll, Geno Smith, you got a good running back, you got a good DN, you got something that's going in the right direction. Because I do think the Raiders have something going that can definitely, if it does take time, but they're going in the right direction. Granted, their division is a little bit tough. I would have not have left, but again, this is a league where you do have to get your cheese at the time that you need to get it. But I think that the Raiders are going to go ahead and be fine because I think if they bring in Cooper, I think Cooper's going to do what he needs to do to go ahead and I wouldn't say be a number one, but if he is a number one, he is a number one. Or number two, I don't know who's going to be there. But kind of talk to me about this situation for Jacoby Myers. Is he kind of crazy for doing this, or does it make sense? Talk to me about it.
I'm not gonna say crazy for doing it because this is he want to hit while the iron's hot. He coming off his best season last year, 87 catches, 1,027 yards, 11.8 yards average per catch, and 4 touchdowns. That's his best season last year. He's on the last year of his contract, 3-year, $33 million. So he's on the board, on the books right now for $11 million. I think I seen something that said he wants around $30 million a year, like a 2-year, $60 million a year type of extension. I think he can get that somewhere. I like Jacoby Myers, but I think Jacoby Myers is a solid receiver. I don't know. And when I say solid, I don't mean like super good. I mean like I think he gets the job done. I think he can get open. I think he's a vertical guy. Like he catch the ball and get vertical. Oh, he's a dirty 2nd and 8, 3rd and 5 type of receiver that can get the yards, make a guy miss, and he can extend drives. I'm not saying he's a blazer like Tyreek Hill or anything like that, but he can extend drives. I feel like he's a nice little possession wide receiver, and he's coming off his best year last year. And he want to hit while he can right now with the Raiders. They got a new coach. You want to try to get in right now because this is your last year on that deal. They're gonna leave from you anyway.
Right.
Like if he was to just come in and play, they was going to leave anyway. Like, they was going to be like, all right, bet. You can go on about your business, no matter what type of year he had. So right now, I see why he's coming to the table and saying, hey, if y'all not going to pay me, I'll just accept this trade and somebody else can pay me and I'll just figure it out there. I think he should go back to New England. I think New England would be a great spot for him to go back to. He started off there, made plays there. He actually grew there and was able to sign that contract from them. After he left them, he was able to sign that contract. So I think he's cool, but I do also think they drafted 2 wide receivers this year, and these guys are like 6'5". Like both of them are like 6'5". Number 10, I think his last name is Thornton, and you got is it Betch or Botch? I think he's a guy from TCU or Tech. Was it TCU? I think it was TCU.
One of those, yeah.
Yeah, both of those guys are like 6'5", and obviously they made some plays this training camp. Like I heard the buzz around them guys. One of them, I think the Thornton guy, I think it was just him and Calvin Johnson is the only 2 guys to be 6'5" and run like 4 threes. So, I mean, that's a hell of a crowd to be. I mean, that's a hell of, only 2 guys, 6'5", run 4-3. And obviously he was doing enough in camp to where it was like, oh, he going to be all right. You know what I'm saying? Like he going to be all right. So obviously they bring in Amari Cooper, veteran leadership. He's a guy that played there. He probably was like, I ain't going to training camp. If you're going to sign me at the training camp type shit.
Right.
He can help develop those guys, help teach those guys. And that just may be the role he's going to play in. Because when he was at Buffalo last year, they didn't really target him like that. And I'm not saying he wasn't open, but when you coming on to a different team and you're not the main guy they're throwing it to, you got to learn the offense. You got to learn the quarterback. They ain't got time for all that shit. And I don't know if they're going to have time for it now with him just coming back now. So I think they got weapons. I think Jacoby Myers, I think he should go get his bag. I mean, the Steelers can ask for him. Tennessee can get asked for him. There's teams out there that I think will accept his services. He's very quarterback friendly, and that's what you want to be. If I'm not mistaken, I think he played quarterback in college or high school. One of them, he was a quarterback. So obviously he has a great feel for the defense, knowing what they want to do, knowing if the blitz coming from over here, somebody over here dropping back, like he knowing the hots and adjustments. He's quarterback friendly, bro, and I think that's a great thing to be. He blocks all of that. So Bowers, Genty, I think them boys going. I don't know how good the Raiders are gonna be, but I think Bowers is gonna. I think he's the best tight end in the game. I think he's gonna snap. I think Genty will eventually start to snap. Like Genty, if he stays healthy this year, he's gonna have 15 all-purpose, 15,000. Sure, 1,500 all-purpose yards. He gonna have some tutties. You feel me? Gino got some weapons over there, so we're gonna see what them Raiders looking like, man. Hopefully they can, possibly make some noise in the AFC West. Beat some teams they shouldn't beat, and see how they gonna compete. And they got a good coach, winning coach, a quarterback that can, very serviceable, very, prolific quarterback. I like Geno Smith. Be cool. Every time they line up on the field, they're gonna be like, "Hey, we got a chance," and that's all you want in the league. That's all you want in the league. You just want to know that you got a chance. They got the weapons. They got the environment, it seemed like. And now it's time to go out there and play. We're going to see, how that turns out.
Definitely are. I'm excited, man. Can't wait for this season. I just can't wait for this individual play, like especially in the NFL. Like you got your top tight ends, top wide receivers, top quarterbacks, and go through the whole position. I can't wait to see Bowers, though. Bowers, I feel like one of those guys that got like 1,800 yards and just be snapping. But he'll have 1,800 yards by like week 15.
Did you see the preseason? He was playing against the 49ers. He caught a ball. Did you see that? Did you see it? I forgot what he caught. He caught a ball and turned around and faced up whoever and lowered that shoulder. I say, oh, he tough. Like, first of all, he mauled somebody, got missing, and then turned around, and whoever was right there, he just ran through him, lifted his head down, and was like, yeah, I say, bro, he a beast. He was a beast at Georgia. Like, people don't forget. I mean, I don't know if people forget, but he was a fucking dog at Georgia. Bro, he was getting reverses at tight end. Bro, he was getting reverses at tight end, but they was jet sweeping with the tight end, bro. He dynamic. And like I said, I wouldn't be surprised if he's fighting for that triple crown at tight end. I think he's definitely going to lead all the tight ends and everything. But I think he's going to be that point. If Geno stays healthy and they get a good rhythm, I think he's going to be around 120 catches, 16 to 1,800 yards, 12 plus touchdowns. That's the year I see him having this year. Easy work. So shout out to the Raiders, man. I want to see them put it together, man, because that's a tough division to be playing in, but I think they can make some noise if they really on that.
Absolutely. Let's go ahead here. Obviously, we like to go ahead and give our 2 cents on who's going to go ahead and be the top winners for the NFC and the AFC. We'll go ahead and start off with the NFC here. I'll go ahead and just put you on the spot. We have the NFC East. We got the Cowboys, Giants, Eagles, Commanders. Who you got winning that one? We got the NFC West, Cardinals, Rams, 49ers, Seahawks.
Got the Rams.
NFC teams that we cover here on this show. We got the Bears, Lions, Packers, Vikings. Who do you got?
Lions.
NFC South, which I think this is going to be a pretty cool division to go ahead and kind of see. Granted that this has kind of been a lot of down years for this division. But if you go ahead and look at it, Falcons, I like to talk about quarterbacks. Penix Jr., Panthers. You go ahead and got Bryce. What's his last name? I forget his name.
Young.
Again. Bryce Young. Yeah. And then the situation with the Saints is the Rattler going to go ahead and start, or is the guy they went ahead and drafted this year going to start? I think Rattler's going to take it. And then you go ahead and you have Baker Mayfield. Who do you got here in the NFC South?
I got the Bucs. I just think they loaded on offense, and I think they always going to be in the right position and playing hard and coach well on defense. So watch out for the Bucs. Like, they're sneaky. Watch out for the Bucs, bro. That's all I'm gonna say.
I think the Bucs are gonna go 12-5 in that division. It's like one of those teams that you're like, okay. And the fact that you went in, and why I say that is because you already had pointed it out. They are loaded on the offensive end.
Yeah.
Loaded. All positions. So I got them going 12-5. Let's go ahead over to the AFC. AFC East got the Bills, Dolphins, Patriots, and the Jets.
I got the Bills. Bills for sure.
AFC West, we already talked about the Raiders earlier. That is the Broncos, Chiefs, Raiders, Chargers.
I got the Broncos winning the division. And I got the Broncos got them going 13-4.
Who are they sweeping in their division? Is it the Chiefs, the Raiders, or the Chargers?
I think they're gonna go 5-1 in the division.
Damn.
And I don't think they're gonna lose to the Chiefs. Like, I think it's gonna be one of them games where they just, they're gonna come off a big win and then lose one to the Raiders or some shit like that. But I think they're gonna be 5-1 in the division. They tough.
What is that score going to be when they face the Packers late in the season?
Where is it at?
It's in Mile High.
And what week they play?
I think that's like week 15, if I'm not mistaken. Let me see.
Week 15. So that's gonna be later in the year. I think that'll be
December 4th. So that's got to be like that goddamn near be about week 15.
Like week 13 or something like that. I don't think the Packers are gonna put up more than 10 points on the Broncos, and I think the Broncos are gonna put up 25 plus.
Yeah.
So they're gonna beat them by 15 plus points. That's where I'm going. That just hurt your heart. Sick. Hey man, Bo Nix look good. They got weapons. They got a few weapons. They ain't got no legitimate weapons. I mean, them Sean Payton offenses never had like he didn't have offenses where it wasn't like oh my God, we got a Terrell Owens or something like that. You feel me? But he didn't have guys that can make plays. And the way he schemes and prepares them guys, they're gonna be turning every week. So I think they're gonna be able to put up points this year. And that was the thing last year. When they got to the playoffs, they couldn't move the ball on the Bills. I think they're gonna be able to move the ball this year, and that's gonna change the trajectory of this whole team. That's how I look at it.
AFC North, Ravens, Bengals, Browns, Steelers. We got
Ravens all day.
Do the Ravens go ahead and straight up just clean house in this division when they play the division rivals?
I would hope so, man. Sometimes they come out and play weird versus certain teams. Like, they lost to the Browns last year and they lost to the Steelers last year. Like, and they both was games they was up and they should have won. So hopefully if they locked in all year, we gonna see. But if they ain't and they have one of them retarded ass games that they have where Lamar always have like one or two games a year was just like, bro, what the fuck are you doing? You feel me? Like, he always have one of those games where, but now I will hope that the defense can make him right in those games.
Yeah.
And where they don't lose the game. You know what I'm saying? Like, there was games where Peyton Manning threw picks and shit like that, but the defense was able, Bob Sanders, Gary Brackett, Dwight Freeney, Robert Mathis, they was able to keep it close to where he can be like, all right, we can overcome that shit. But that's what you need, man. That's what you need. So hopefully the defense can show up from week 1. And we just seen the preseason, they catching pick sixes. They was top 5 in defense. Like, this whole preseason, they look good, but they got to show up. They got to make plays. They got to turn the ball over. They have to do shit. They got to get off the field. They got to produce every week and not just fucking put the shit on Lamar. Like, it shouldn't just be on Lamar all the time. We already know he gonna do some great shit for 12 games a year. But 2 of them, he gonna look like a high school quarterback. So on those 2 games, you will hope the defense can be like, all right, this is our game. They ain't scoring no more. If Luke got to kick 5 field goals and we win 15-12, then that's what we going to do. So that's how I look at it. But, yeah, I got the Ravens in the division for sure.
And then last but not least, the AFC South. I think this is going to be an exciting division just due to fresh faces. Got Cam Ward. Trevor Lawrence is in another year where it's like we got to figure it out at this point. We all hear the news with the Colts. Obviously, Richardson's not going to be the starter. He's going to be the backup. And then now you have Daniel Jones, who looks very well. I think we've preached here on this, going over to Kevin O'Connell with the Vikings. That gave him a lot of new ways to look how to play quarterback. And you can tell, especially in the preseason, because he was making the right decisions. Granted, if it was, say, for instance, going up and running, making the right reads, making the right throws. And then the Texans, obviously, you get another year of C.J. Stroud. C.J. Stroud really didn't have a great year last year. Kind of one of those dip years. Does he go ahead now and get himself back into that top 5, top 10 that people are already going ahead and putting him in? So who do you got with this AFC South? Because there's 2 teams that I have thinking, but I want to hear what you go ahead and thinking for this division on who's going to be the winner.
If you put Dak Prescott on the Colts, do you think they are like a championship worthy team?
I could say like for this division, like to win the division,
Yeah,
or
like
or just like a flat out like they can go to the Super
no,
Bowl.
like division and up, like division and up, like not a wild card. I'm talking about division and potentially, AFC Championship and potentially Super Bowl.
I definitely think so. I think right now who they have with Daniel Jones that they have a shot. My two teams that could possibly that I was going between was the Colts and the Texans. Because the Colts defense on what they got right now, they just went ahead and got Blackman from the Vikings. That's another corner. Didn't they sign Ward? He played with the 49ers. It starts with us.
Mm-hmm.
You know who I'm talking about.
Yeah,
Probably all know who I'm talking about. Yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy. But then obviously our good Michigan State boy and Joe Bacci over there doing his thing. He had an incredible preseason. He's definitely going to be playing. So I already know what I'm getting from that position. You got good D linemen. You got a good, secondary. You got a good run game in Taylor. You got wide receivers. You went ahead and got the Penn State tight end. It's just about making the right decisions. That's really all it is. And you've harped on this so many times, especially just not even when we were in this position, but last year. They still had guys. They've always had a good defense. Colts are definitely a team to watch out for, and the Texans, too. We already know what we're getting from the Texans. They got a good defense, good wide receivers. Nico Collins going to be a guy to go ahead and have over 1,200 yards and do his thing. CJ Stroud. It's something that I'm really eager to see, but obviously I was long-winded. But who do you got, man? To answer your question with Prescott, yes, he would definitely get this team to where it needs to be.
I asked that because I said I always – well, I ain't going to say always, but I thought that the Colts was like a quarterback away from like really competing. Like if you put CJ Stroud in the Colts, I think the Colts would be a better team than Texas. That's what I'm saying. I think the Colts are good, they're not great around their quarterback, but I think they have like every position. I think they got a good players. So I just don't think they got a quarterback that can take them there this year. I like them though, but that quarterback, you don't know this year you got this quarterback, this year you got this quarterback. That shit kind of get tough as far as part of the team. But I'm gonna go with Texans. Obviously they got CJ Stroud. He's coming off he had a great first year, then he had a mediocre. He kind of took a little step back in his second year. That could have been protection issues, which it was. I think they was over 50 sacks. He got sacked over 50 times, so I'm sure that got something to do with him, being confident, just standing in that pocket and just delivering the ball. Because if I get back there and I'm comfortable and I'm about to throw it and I'm getting smacked every time, 5 times a game, I'm gonna start thinking about people around me. You feel me? I'm gonna start keeping my eyes right here in front of me more than I'm downfield with it. So that's just football nature, quarterback nature for sure. So, but I'm gonna take the Texans in that division for sure. Now, if Anthony Richardson would have won the job, I would have probably picked the Colts, because if he'd have won the job, that would have said, okay, he's he at least got better from last year, at least a little bit more consistent from last year. But he didn't, so I'm gonna pick Texans to win that division.
Man, we can only find out and see, but I think those are pretty good picks. Just to go ahead and go over them real quick so you can go ahead and, if you like to place bets or whatever you do with your money or do whatever with this sports betting. AFC South, we had one and picked the Texans. AFC North, we picked the Ravens. AFC West, we picked the Broncos. AFC East, we picked the Bills. Then moving on over to the NFC East, we went ahead and took you took the Eagles, right? Yeah. Eagles, NFC West, the Rams, NFC North, the Lions, and last but not least, the NFC South, the Buccaneers. So last but not least, before we go ahead and head you guys off to this beautiful weekend, I was looking at some things on Twitter, and they had a picture that says, who is the worst player in this picture? This is from Hoops Mix Only, and they have 6 point guards. So I'm going to go ahead and start here with the first and obviously go through. So they have a picture of Chris Paul, Tony Parker, Jason Kidd, Rajon Rondo, Steve Nash, and Darren Williams. Who is the worst player in that picture? And if you need me to say him again, I'll say him again.
Who was the last person you said?
The last person I said was Darren Williams.
Darren Williams. And you said who was the worst? Well, not the worst, but obviously,
like,
I know.
You know how it is. They're saying which one is the worst, basically, player out of this picture.
I think I'm going to go Rajon Rondo. I think I would take all of these guys over Rajon. I'm not saying he's not a productive player. He's a winner. IQ is next level, but the things these guys could do was better than what Raja could do. Raja was he was a point guard. I'm talking about never shoot the ball. If he didn't have, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. I'm just saying, because if you didn't have Paul Pierce and Ray Allen around you and KG, then who would you be passing the ball to? You know what I'm saying? Like, maybe you'd be passing the ball to somebody, but you had a really good team around you, so you could pass the ball to them and they can score. But what if you didn't have those guys? You had like some regular guys that could maybe score, but score a little bit. Now you would have to score. And he could never really do that. Like, that wasn't, I'm not going to say he couldn't do that. That wasn't his game. He really came into the league and he knew his role. And he wanted to be there. He didn't want to shoot the ball. I remember it was times where he would never shoot the ball. Never, ever. And that shit didn't happen until they went to the finals a couple times. And then, like, as they started to disperse, that's when he started to, like, you know, have a little mid-range sometimes. And even still, he was never a shooter, but, like, never. All these other guys could shoot, could pass. I don't think Rajon was a better passer than all these guys on here. Tony Parker was cold. Finals MVP. Tony Parker was cold. He was a scorer. Jason Kidd. Steve Nash, two-time MVP, right? Two-time MVP. And then Darren Williams. You know, if you watch Utah growing up and you know about Darren Williams was like, he was like the damn point guard. He was the Carmelo Anthony of point guard. Like, he was a bully, bro. Like, he was cold with that shit. Can score, can shoot, pick and roll, he can pass. He just played for Utah. You know what I'm saying? Like, and even though he played for Utah was in the playoffs. Like, he was taking them to the playoffs. And he was the head guy, you know, controlling the ball up and down the court. Like, bro, it was an argument with him and Chris Paul was the best point guard in the league at a time for like a good 4 or 5 years. Like, he was like, hey, we don't know who better, because this motherfucker, like, he might have better teams and they might go further, but this motherfucker in the playoffs too. And Darren Williams getting buckets. Like, buckets. So I would take all of these guys over Rajon Rondo for sure. But shout out to Rajon Rondo, because, you know, he dope too. Ain't nobody the weakest link on this list. Ain't no weak link. It's just, I take all of these guys over Rajon for sure.
And the add on Darren Williams, let's even go back deeper in that bag. That man was a problem there at the Illinois for fighting Illini. That man was nasty. He was something. But no, he was one of those guys, because I like that you went in and said what you said about Darren Williams. He was one-on-one, but he was there. You see multiple highlights of him crossing people up, getting to his shot, shooting the ball, shooting a three, a scorer at that position, like a scorer.
They're not the same, but you might be able to see a little similarities. Cade Cunningham.
Yeah, that's a very good one.
Kind of. If I looked hard enough, I'd be like, he got some Darren Williams in it. He wasn't fast as Darren Williams, but Darren Williams can slow the game down too. But he also can, you know, get past you when he wants to, bump you. Like, Cade play more of a like, Cade make you play how he wants you to play. Like, Cade kind of play slow, like Paul Pierce a little bit. Like, he kind of make you do what he wants you to do, and then, you feel me? Like, he'd come out the pick and roll, hold you behind, and then come over this, come over there. Like, he make you play his game. But Darren Williams was actually 3-pointers, anything. Come off the pick and roll, left, right, pass. Like, I can see those guys. If you toss them up, I'd be like, okay, I see what you mean. But yeah.
Yeah, no, we're going to get out of here. Chris Paul can kick rocks. Everyone, you guys have a great weekend. We are fully locked in for this football season. You already know what we do on here. It's crazy to think that we're damn near 2 years in. We're going to go ahead and have another great year of talking about the greatest game on earth, and that is football. I know overseas, you know, I get it. But here in America, real football, we love it. We breathe it. It's here. Look left and right. Make sure you're doing what you need to do to go out and get yourself better. Lip, take us out, man.
Hey, man, drink y'all water. Enjoy yourself. Next Thursday is going down. Really, this Saturday. In college football this Saturday, but next Thursday is NFL is here. We're going to see if Michael Parsons on the field. We'll talk about it next Tuesday.
Hey, I saw him laying down. He is sick over there in Dallas. Everyone have a great week, great weekend. We'll see you later. Peace out.